So we've got our base colour, and what we're going to do is we're going to now just export this, because we've got a colour ID map exported. We're going to export it ready for Substance Painter. So our base colour is ready for our singular texture set. We need to make sure we're only selecting our model and not our cameras. And we go File, Export, and I'm going to go with the .obj. We're going to make sure Selection Only is picked, Apply Modifiers is Include Edges, Smooth Groups is ticked to make sure that's ticked. Right Normals, include UVs, and right Materials, so we can take our texture set out. Objects is we don't need to triangulate our faces because we're not intending to go to game, but we could do if we wanted to triangulate ready for game engine. I'm going to call it tankbot.obj, and I'm going to overwrite the one that's currently there. Export that. Then if we come to Substance, we can literally create a new project, select our model, which should be called tankbot.obj. Okay. I'm going to work at 4K because my computer can handle it really. Compute tangent space per fragment and DirectX. And then before I go any further, I'm going to add my color ID map that we exported, which was this one. Press OK. There we go. We've got one texture set based on this base material we created. We then just need to simply come down to where it says color ID. So select ID map, and then there's our image. And then we can bake all our other textures, but untick the ID map, like so. And we can change our parameters and our settings if we wanted to. We can put anti-aliasing on, and let's bake. And that'll bake out our base textures. So it's just doing the ambient occlusion for the moment. So this is bringing our model in, bringing our color ID map in that we've exported out, baking our textures ready to be used. And because we've been saving incremental saves of our Blender project, we can go back to any stage if we made any little errors. So for example, before I joined, I really should have applied the subsurf modifier to these pipes before then joining, and that would have solved that problem, but that was an oversight on my behalf. But again, at least we can go back to that point because of the way we've saved. We've now got all our textures, so let's test this ID map out. Let's drag a steel material up there. Let's right click and go add mask with color selection. And then if we pick color, there's our ID map being loaded in. And we can literally pick the sections we want to be made of this steel. And we've optimized it because we're using only one texture set, one atlas. So when we export this out, we're only going to have one texture to work with, which means we could go a little bit larger, maybe go to 4K if it's games, or 8K if it was for film. And it's only got to load one texture map instead of loading multiple ones, maybe 10 or 11 that we would have had if we stuck with texture sets. Okay, so that's the end of how to optimize your model in Blender. So it has only one UV atlas, and we've optimized all the color ID export options, and we've now been left with a situation where we can optimize our workflow. Thank you very much.